Welcome back, everybody. We have a new Minimate review for this six pack that came out recently. Five pack, I guess, is questionable which one it is. But I've had this sitting on a shelf for a couple weeks now, and just haven't gotten around to reviewing it. Like right now, toy photography, unfortunately, is like the last of my things that I'm into. You know that I'm taking the time out to do. I'm still collecting quite a bit of stuff, all the Marvel stuff. I always pre-order that, and then I'm still collecting Motu, and just I have other priorities right now, unfortunately. So I hate that I never take the time to do toy photography or whatever. It's been since March, actually, April, May, June, exactly 3 months, pretty much, since the last time I was in the lab taking pictures of anything. So it's nice to get a new set. And of course, this is the Amazing Spider-Man Spiderverse. This is honestly one of the big reasons I waited. Is not the most inspiring set. We got three of the most repeated versions of Spider-Man on here. We also have, like, none of these are original except for Spider-Ham, which just happens to be, a statue. It's not even a posable figure. So this isn't exactly a huge priority for me. This is for whoever's going to collect Minimates that doesn't have, everything, whatever. Like, they make this worth it for the collector for a few reasons. We'll get into that. But it's just not all that exciting to me because I have so many Gwens and so many Miles. And, of course, the original red and blue. We got a ton of him. We have the perfect Ben Reilly Spider-Man. 2029 is upgrade, and then Spider-Ham's a statue, so it is what it is. Let's take a closer look at the package real quick. We at least have this really cool package. This is the first, I think this is the first Spider-Man set we've had with the new packaging that they really go over the top with. But it's cool to have it, I guess, whatever, yeah, that's what they're packaging with now. That's what we get. It looks cool. Like, if I was just going to display this, honestly, if it wasn't for Spider-Ham, I would seriously consider displaying this just like this. That 2029 or 2099 figure is just excellent. It's the best one they've given us so far. And of course, you guys will see there's three new webbing accessories. We will rock out with those for sure with these pictures. But I've been saying it for years. Minimates have been around for 20 years, and I've been saying it for years. Where are all the Spider-Man webbing accessories? We got that same one coiled up line that we've always had. There's a backpack. And there just isn't, for it being Spider-Man, they really have not done anything with the webbing that they should, and now that's where we're at. We have just all these cool webbing accessories. So, great part of this. The other thing is the spider hands, obviously. We have all the thwip hands for every color, and not just, I think we have some for Miles, and I think we obviously have some for regular Spider-Man, but we don't have any for Gwen. So it's cool to get those for her and have them for pretty much every other figure. But anyways, let's take them out. We've seen our tray shot. We've seen our box shot. Actually, maybe we should look at the back real quick. Pretty basic, you got the names of all of them and their alias, and not much other information besides that. Usually I thought these have a little blurb, like a paragraph of something about maybe the Spiderverse, but not right, not on this package. So, but yeah, again, let's take them out of the package. Just get a closer look at the figures themselves. All right, so here's a closer look. Again, yeah, it's just we already have a bunch of these, and there's some pretty bright spots, a couple bright spots. The big one is Spider-Man 2099 is like a million times better than the other one. I'm going to go grab the other ones, and we're going to compare them with the new one too a little bit later. But, 2099 is a huge deal. Spider-Ham is a huge deal. I got to see. Yeah, there's no part on him that articulates. Not his head, not his arms, not his hips. He has peg holes, and that's about it. But it is nice to get him finally. The accessories, which we'll look closer at later, those are pretty amazing. But again, like Miles, Spider-Man, and Gwen are just kind of overkill at this point in time for a long time collector. The other bright spot of this set is the stands. Those portal stands, those are pretty neat. I really dig those. Yeah, they look pretty good. So very cool stands. Will make cool display shelf stands, for some of these guys. So. Let's take a closer look at some of the characters. All right, so here's our first figure we're going to look at. This, I guess it's a bigger need than I gave it credit for, even though I pretty much said it's like one of the bright spots of the set, and it's actually my favorite figure out of the set. I forgot we have this one that's coming around. That's the original. This one's so old it doesn't even have foot pegs. Like, that's how long ago they made that Spider-Man 2099. And then this other one that we see here, this is from the animated show, which is also really cool. It is a good Spider-Man 2099. But the big thing, obviously, is he's missing his web cape. And the fact that they finally gave this to us just blows us out of the water. Those arm spikes that come out of the forearms, also amazing. Like, it looks so good. Like, I'm so pleased with this figure to get, like, basically, like, I can't even imagine improving on this figure. Like, that's how much I like it. So kudos for this one. Definitely a huge upgrade. And definitely a necessary mini-mate in my opinion. So let's go on to another figure. So again, here is Miles Morales, and we have his other figures here. This one here has a slipcover mask. This new one is definitely an upgrade on that one for sure. Like, it's still a really nice looking mini-mate, but as years have gone by, I'm on the side of not being that big of a fan of slipcover masks because they make the head look bulky. I did like them when I first got into it because I thought it was so cool, like when I first got into mini-mates. And then just like eventually just kind of why wouldn't you have an extra head? It just looks so much cleaner, like proportionately correct. We did get some webbing hands for those. I didn't take those out of the package, but we got some of those from another mini-mate set that was animated from Walgreens exclusive set. So we already have the thwip hands for him, which is nice. And then actually I'm gonna stop this for a second here. So one thing that's making me come around on this figure is look at the eyes on the figure on the right. The old one kind of got the dark, more scary looking eye, or the more, what would you say, squinted look to Miles's mask, and the new one has more of a surprise look. And I'll say for sure I appreciate that. Just having another facial expression for this figure is great to have. It will come in handy. I think I actually like the slipcover mask body the best. Just the design on the what do you call it, the tampo or whatever. I can't remember what they call it. You can see his muscle definition way more on this one than the other two. And I like the thinner red lines. The arms I think are better. But yeah, this new one, I'm really coming around on these figures because this new figure actually looks pretty good, and this is the one I was least excited about. I mean, there's 3 of these guys, but I think there's like at least 2 animated ones too. Like, I don't think these 3 are the only ones we have. I just didn't want to dig out any, and I think I still have those with the animated figures versus my other Spider-Man 2099 animated. That was kind of my stand-in for the old one, so that was handy in my comic version. But yeah, let's go on to another figure. So now that I've been looking at these, I do have to say that the newest one is probably my least favorite out of the 3. Like, I'm not into it as much. It's the only one that doesn't have any kind of paint or design on its legs. The hip piece is solid black, so there's no paint there either. The mask, actually I gotta take a closer look at this real quick. The mask is kind of fuzzy. Like, I think it's supposed to be like that, but I'm just not a fan of it. Like, I really am not. Like, let's see if I can focus in on it. Yeah, it's just kind of funny, which is on purpose, I'm sure. But then, like, this original one, if you look at her mask, it's like got way more detail to it. I don't know if my crappy phone camera can get really zero in on that. But yeah, this is, at least we got the Thwip hands finally. So that's a plus side to getting this pack for, Gwen Stacy's Spider Ghost, whatever she's called. So I guess there's a bright spot to this one too. Let's go on to another figure. All right, so next we got Scarlet Spider, and like this one too. I guess it's a I don't know if I'll necessarily call it an upgrade, but a good variant of the other figure. Like I remember when we got the last one. The one on the far right is the last one we got. And the one on the far left is the one that came out years ago. Like it's an old school Minimate, but I remember when that Ben came out. The one on the far left. Excuse me, the one on the far right, I thought, oh, you can't improve on the old school one. And like once you put the two of them together, the newest one blows it out of the water. This new one that we have now, I wouldn't call it a bad thing that we got it. Like I like the variation of it, like the hooded sweatshirt part. The fact that it's actually a separate piece this time is pretty awesome. Like the original one, you just had the capes like. The original one, you had the cape painted on, and the hoodie painted on, and then the last one we got that, this hood piece here that made it even better, and now this is just one solid piece. The hip piece is different. The part around his ankles is different. Those 90s pouches. I wouldn't say this new one is necessarily better than the last one, but it is an amazing variant. Like that's a neck and neck version of Ben Reilly there. Like I have a hard time picking which one I like more. Maybe the newest one, just because the hood piece has that underneath his head. There's that piece of flat plastic. Not a fan of that look. But they're both great figures. It's nice to get a variant. I guess that's equal in design. Like looks good. Like can't complain, I guess. Let's go on to another one. Yeah, so here we got Spider-Man. I didn't bother grabbing any of the other Spider-Man figures. This is just your like straight up run-of-the-mill Spider-Man. There's nothing special about him. Like if you they always got to put like the original character. They can't have an Iron Man set without having Iron Man in it. They don't do that. So you got to have your normal Spider-Man, and this is just like the most plain Jane Spider-Man there is. I actually kind of like the Maximum Carnage one. Like it's a good, just normal one, but like I have so many Spider-Mans that are actually my favorite that this is just like it's just gonna get lost in the crowd. Like it's not like I don't even know how to say it. There's nothing to it, The webbing pieces, of course, are a huge standout in this set, and like just by themselves is worth buying the set itself. And they gave us 3 different ones. This is just your normal, Thwip web slinging hand. Like I really can't wait to use these in pictures. I finally have this accessory. I can't believe it. Like it's finally happening. And this, of course, too, is like an amazing accessory, much needed. We have those web accessories that are like they go around a Minimate figure's waist. This too will work really good for those kinds of shots. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. I'm kind of thinking a Juggernaut shot with it with this accessory, but it's another great addition. I'm so glad we have it. I hope they give it to us again in future sets. I always like having a few of these in case one just accidentally breaks or something in the future. But what a great accessory. Like, yeah, just tons of fun with this one. So, and then here's our third shot. I think I'm going to end up doing a Green Goblin shot with this webbing accessory. I really dig it. It's just kind of like a rapid attack kind of deal. I think, for Spider-Man, it should be a lot of fun just to see how this one goes, like what I have in mind with it. So, Spider-Man's always been like a very inspirational character to me. He's not necessarily my favorite hero or anything. I still really like him and own a lot of his comic books, but like he's not in my top 5 favorite heroes or anything. But whenever I take pictures of him, I would say he's in my top 2 most photogenic characters to take pictures of. Like most of the time I do his stuff, it turns out fantastic, and I got to give the character himself and who he is and what he's about plenty of credit for that. So actually, I almost forgot our final figure. Let's go to that one. All right, so here he is. We have our final character. He's the only character that hasn't been redone. We have Spider-Ham here. Like, I am so grateful that we got him. It's so nice to have him. I just wish they could have gave us even 3 points of articulation. Like just a head swivel, a wrist swivel, a elbow swivel, a shoulder swivel, even not an elbow necessarily, but like wrist, shoulder, and head. Like something would have helped a little bit. Like he's stuck in that pose for every picture you take him with. Can't point his hands down. Maybe I should try one more time just to make sure I'm not talking smack on something. Nope, nothing moves. It stinks because you need him. You need him to be the size that he is. You need him to be the scale that he is. I'm a huge. I just hate when stuff is not. To scale. Figures aren't to scale. I just never been a fan of that. I wish it would give us a proper Sentinel. And Galactus and all those other figures. But I guess you gotta take what you get. So it's nice to have them. And that brings me to one other thing I want to talk about with this set. We got our Gwen and Miles and everybody else that magically popped up here. I'm glad they gave us a Spiderverse set. If they put out a survey before this and said, hey, would you like a Spiderverse set? I would be like, yeah, of course. Like, it's like a natural thing to go to. You got to have a Spiderverse set. Like, how come we don't have more of them by now? So it's cool that we got them. And this $20.99 is such an upgrade. That and he was such a big deal in Spider-Man 2, into the Spider-Verse 2. That it's cool to get him very timely. And maybe Miles because he's very popular right now, but like this would have been a good opportunity to give us at least 1 or 2 characters we don't have yet. Like the punk rock, like Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse 2. This would have been a perfect set for them to make him. Like, this would have been a really good set to make him for. And he was very popular, obviously, from the TV show, or from the movie, excuse me. He would have been a good one instead of Gwen or Scarlet Spider. Just at least one full-size new character. And there's a million to pick from. I just wish they would have given us a little bit. Like I said, this is worth buying because of all the accessories and the upgraded $20.99 and Spider-Ham and those stands. But it just would have been so much more if they gave us at least one, maybe even I would have preferred at least 2 more new characters. Perfect opportunity. We all would have loved it, but still a cool set to own, I guess. And we got another Spider-Man set coming real soon that is straight out of the 90s. So I like that one. I'm super jacked for. So I'm that makes it a little bit easier to be okay with not having very many original things with this set. Like the fact that other one's coming is pretty amazing. I'm excited for that other one. And I think they said it's not too far off. So not a big deal. It is what it is. If you're a new collector, this is going to be a great set for you. All characters, all figures are quality, and you got some amazing accessories. So, now that we're done with the review part, we should move on to the toy photography part, and let's see what we can do with some of these guys. All right, so our first shot is basically, I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of things, pun intended. I wanted to get Scarlet Spider out there and just kind of stuck him to a wall, and then just kind of looked at the picture and thought, well, you know, what else can I do with this? And it's just basically him and Peter hanging out, chatting, you know, having some kind of discussion. Who knows? But just basically a nice, simple, relaxed shot of these two hanging out. Nothing too special about it. So let's go on to another picture. All right, so this shot really turned out great. We have our introduction of Spider Pig into the Minimate collection. He is coming out of this portal that, you know, Gwen and Peter and Miles probably built, and just kind of having them in shock, like maybe they're looking for more Spider-Men to help out, and this is what comes out of the portal is a Spider Pig, Spider Ham. Just kind of a fun setup. Like, we have this portal that I got from Luke's toy store. In the center of it is actually an accessory from who was it? Was it Hot Rod? I think it was Hot Rod, or else it was what's his name? Prime. Hot Rod. God, I got a brain fart right now. Whatever. And then just getting some electric effects in the background to go over there, and then having a light back there to light up the portal. So it turned out pretty good. Great shot. Putting a shocked look on each of their, expression on each of their faces, just to, have all three of them kind of going, what am I looking at even? So, this turned out really good. I really like it. This video's got on pretty long, so I'm going to do one more, just a character, nice simple character shot. And then we'll call it quits. All right, so this will be our final shot. I just wanted to make sure I got everybody in here, at least in one picture. And this video's gone on long enough. It's like 20 minutes or something. But we had to get, my favorite figure of the wave out, Spider-Man 2099. What a absolutely gorgeous looking figure. Like, he is so sharp looking and just dark and brooding and kind of scary looking. And this picture turned out really good for as simple as it is, getting the futuristic background. This is the Hex Bugs play sets, just kind of scattered about, and then having some lights underneath them to just kind of give a little bit more character to the background. I wish I could get that star. I think I got to get closer to that thing to pick it up, and I'm just not going to move this whole thing way back there. But yeah, just a gorgeous figure, and this picture turned out pretty good. So anyways, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. Check out the description of this video for my Instagram and Facebook page, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye now.